Hey family, today we're going to do a two-part on velocity banking, looking at one of my credit cards, specifically a business credit card, which is the highest one I'm carrying off my personal and business, and want to show you velocity banking and how it can be used through this part one. So if further, let's go ahead and start this PowerPoint. Okay. All right, this is improving your credit using velocity banking, also through the issue of either HELOAN, a HELOC, or all-in-one loan. This can be also used to reduce your amount. As we said before, financial capability is the capacity to use your behavior, attitude, skills, and knowledge, or what I call BASK, within your environment to manage financial resources effectively, equitably, efficiently at all levels of your life. What is velocity banking? Velocity banking is a strategy where you use a revolving line of credit as your primary checking and savings account to help pay off your debt faster. Velocity banking is different from the traditional banking where you put your money into a bank account and then you pay through checks or debit card. And if through a debit card, through a checking card, interest rate is still on it. In terms of the HELOC, in terms of velocity banking, you're looking for a debt instrument to use to reduce your debt. One of the debt instruments that can be used is the HELOC we talked about, a HELOAN, an all-in-one mortgage, and now I'm going back to the basic of just using a credit card to reduce your overall debt. And then using the credit card, I'm taking my income from my job, put it into the checking account. From the checking account, I place it onto the debit card. From the debit card, I make various expenses and deductions from that. And that reduces the average daily balance. The velocity method is also about cash flow. So we're really looking at cash flow in general. These are the personal credit cards that I currently have, and using the HELOC method after I see how it goes with the business. So with the business credit card usage, my highest card is the Wells Fargo at $7,293.76 with a 24% APR. This is the credit card. I'm over the limit. $7,546.58. The limit is $7,500, and the minimum payment, want you to really keep this in mind later, is $230. So let's start from the beginning. So for my job, every 2 weeks, I take home after taxes $1,686.47. Now this is up from 1,000, I think 16, 17 last year because I changed my tax on my federal taxes. So my home expenses from that particular first one is $1,400. That leaves me $286 cash flow to do other things with. So I'm taking that $286.47 and placing it on the business credit card to reduce the principal. This is the cash flow that I have left from my first bi-weekly paycheck. I'm gonna have to pay other expenses and we'll get to that. So with that $286.47 cash flow, I'm applying it to the $7,546.58 Wells Fargo credit card, which would give me a balance of $7,260.11. And the great thing about that is that by placing the $286.47 on there, I'm able to also make my first payment. So that's out of the way. And I still have the resources to use the debit card. So next with the credit card. So now we're starting off with $7,260.11. That is the new daily balance from the previous overage balance. And now we're moving into, I received my second paycheck of the month. And now I'm putting another $1,686.47 onto the Wells Fargo credit card. So remember, I did the first paycheck, and that left me with a cash flow of 286. I'm doing the second one, $1,686. So that gives me a new daily balance within this same month of $5,574. So that's two daily balances. The first daily balance I was carrying at about 7,500 over the limit. Then we came down to the 7,200 daily balance. This is over a number of days. And now we have the $5,574 dollar balance. So during the month, that was 3 times that I significantly reduced the principal. But with all good things, there comes some challenges. So now with all of that, I had to go back and add my other expenses. My first expense was separated to just my housing. The second expense deals with my personal groceries, entertainment, gas, and clothing, which is $761. So I should add that back to the credit card balance, and that pushes me back up to $6,335. That's a part of using the credit card as a strategy. The principal will go down, the principal will go up, but it doesn't stay the same the whole month. But it definitely goes down and is saving you interest because there's different principles that they're calculating on a daily balance. So now we have the $6,335 daily balance that I'm dealing with on a Wells Fargo card. Now, in addition to my housing expenses, I just did my personal expenses. Now I'm dealing with the credit reporting expenses. Now, all of my credit reporting expenses total $439. Now, I'm gonna make those charges. I was doing it through my checking account, but now I'm doing it through the Wells Fargo card. So I'm adding this back onto the card. So now the new daily balance is $6,774 per day that they're calculating the interest of $24.90%. So again, we're much lower than the started balancing in general of $7,546.48. So what's the results through the traditional way? Now, in using the traditional way before I came across a velocity banking and wanting to use it, I would have simply looked at my balance on the card, which was $7,546.58. I would have paid my minimum, which was $230, which we saw earlier. And I would have ended the month of January with $7,316.58. That is the traditional way. Now, using the velocity way of banking, we started the month with $7,546.58, the same as the traditional way, but we ended with $6,774 with the velocity way. And that came from putting, remember earlier, the $286 on there, my second paycheck on there, adding the 3 type of expenses: housing, personal, and the credit reporting expenses. So all together, about $772.58 was able to go onto the card to reduce the principal. So my ending balance at the end of the month will be $6,774. Now let's go back to the previous slide, which was the traditional way of $7,316. And that's how the velocity method can work for you. By putting your money on the card, you still have access to it. You're adding your expenses, adding your paycheck, and it's making minuses and pluses and giving you some additional room to save on the principal. What is our monthly cash flow? So now we had the cash flow was 286. That was the first one, and then we had that 16, my second check, which allowed me to end the month with $6,774 balance. So what's the next step? Just keep watching. If you would like to work with me to help you also reduce your debt, please feel free to call me or email me anytime. In addition to that, I'm looking to do small micro loans to help individuals out. This is my contact number and email. Just give me a call and we can see what we can do. Definitely looking forward to working with anyone to try to reduce their debt. Thank you very much for stopping in and really appreciate the time that you've given me. Bye bye. Have a